Good morning!
Good morning.
Welcome. It is not Thursday. It is not Saturday, which must mean it is
Friday, and it is Friday. I don't remember. I know that's the tune, but I don't
really
know
should not ever sing that song. But it is Friday.
I don't even know if that's the right way to sing
to
it.
Fort Fun Friday Facts, better known as Mark and Brandy Aspinall, Berkshire Hathaway, Colorado Real Estate.
Coming to you from our office in Fort Collins today on Friday, June 21st. Did we say it's Friday?
The second official day of summer.
Yeah, the second. Yesterday was the first, longest day.
Longest day in over 200 years. The last time we had this much sunlight from morning to night, George Washington was president of the United States of America.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of cool?
That's pretty amazing.
That could have been our fact.
Oh, we're done. Bye.
We're done.
See you next week.
And that is a fact. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Over 200 years when George Washington was... Can you imagine that? Wow. Cool. Well, you have to because we just said it. The other fact that we are bringing you today is that, the first people, if you will, in the state of Colorado was born, if you will, in 1876. But research has shown that it was inhabited about 11,000 years ago by the Paleo Indians. They lived in an area of what is now Fort Collins.
Of course they chose the best place to
Of course
live.
they chose God's country to live in. So isn't that that was kind of fun that Fort Collins has really that much history and it goes back that far.
Well, and for those of you who forget, Fort Collins could look a whole lot different today if it wasn't for that flooding that flooded LaPorte, causing the capital to be moved from LaPorte to Denver all those years ago.
All those years ago.
Could look a whole lot different today.
Yeah.
Kind of glad it didn't.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad it's how it is, but
yeah. And on that, for those of you who don't know, Fort Collins was not ever actually a fort. It was a camp. Colonial Collins, who was in actually Wyoming when all of that history went down, then they established a camp here for all the soldiers. However, they called it Fort Collins to make it seem a little bit more ominous.
Yeah, make it sound a little tougher, a little less likely to be attacked. All that good stuff. Yeah. So there you go.
There's some facts for you about Fort Collins. Moving on to the real, which is the real estate update. What do we have today, Mark?
Terrible. So in case you missed
Isn't that terrible? I'm offended.
it was a great transition, awkward tone.
Yeah. Well, here. I'll put it this way. I'm offended. Okay. So.
You had the I'm offended at the end, which means it was at the beginning. I'm offended.
Okay.
Now on to the
So,
real.
talking about how Fort Collins could look a lot different because of the history than it does today. It looks a lot different, could have.
Yeah.
However, with how it is today, we have some updates in the real estate news.
There we go.
What do you have for us today, Mark?
Well, thank you, Brandy. So what we're looking at, this is a good transition.
Thank you.
Very Wayne's World going back. So in case you missed it, interest rates did drop this last week. They was the lowest that we've seen in a while, where average rates are in the high sixes right now, where I was seeing FHA and some VA as low as middle to low-ish sixes. So, if you're on the cusp, if you're on the fence deciding if now's the time to pull the trigger, it is really a good time for a buyer to get out there now. There's increased inventory in almost every area that we're looking at right now. Interest rates are lower now, and who knows what they're going to do in the future? We don't know. People have been trying to predict it the last 2 years, and there's no way to know.
No.
However, you lock in when you can, and hopefully can refinance later on.
And how do we always say it? Marry the house.
Date the rate.
There we go. So, with that, yeah.
Which there's some people out there, I've seen a couple articles that like laughing at those of us that have said that kind of language because interest rates are still high. Yeah, but they're going to come down. We don't know when they're going to come down, but they're going to come down eventually.
And then they could go up. We don't know when they're going to go up, but they could possibly go back up into the sevens.
And as we've always talked about and coached, what's important is your monthly payment. Are you comfortable with your monthly mortgage payment? And you move forward from there. The rate is going to play a factor, yes, in how much house you can afford. But if you go by your budget, your monthly budget, then you're safe, relatively speaking. It's a smarter move to go versus then waiting for interest rates to drop and be house poor. You don't want to be house poor ever.
No. And along with that, for sellers, right now is a great time to be looking for maybe an uptick in showings. However, the days on market for sellers are all over the board in northern Colorado still. So there's not really a prediction. So what we are offering obviously is, those free cost market analysis, where your home sits, maybe the potential equity that you have in your home, what that looks like. We can do a neighborhood analysis for how long those homes are sitting on the market when they go active on a listing site. So if you have questions about your property and what that might look, how long it might take to sell, give us a call, let us know, or you can reach out to us on our website, which is www.livingcoloradoelite. Once again, that's www.livingcoloradoelite. And there's a button underneath you can click on that, request free analysis, and we'll be happy to help you go walk through that process.
And there's actually a really cool tool on there too, where you can just put in your address and it will automatically show you what the internet says your home is worth and kind of area, generic area market stats, and then we can always drill down onto more concrete numbers for you from there.
Yeah. And we can also look up, the potential buyer pool within your neighborhood, what that looks like, and making sure that you're set with the biggest, if you will, investment that you have most likely made.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, on that note, investments, weird things happening in the market. I'm trying to make this a great transition, and it's just not working. So we're just going to move on.
We're just going to go to odd news.
The news, which Mark brings every week, and 90% of it is Guinness World Records, strange animals, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's usually it. I'm trying to deviate from that.
Ooh.
Although sometimes a lot of these odd stories do end up setting records, but they're not. When we say Guinness Book of World Records, that has now become the joke of like the stupid records. Now, some of these records today actually, I think, deserve to be records.
Okay.
So to speak.
Okay.
So
we're not moving away from records.
There'd be nothing to talk about. I mean, there'd be no stories ever.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay.
It'd be all animal stories. Animal stories and odd things that got dumped onto the highway in a wreck.
Yeah.
That would be...
We did learn yesterday, totally deviating from this, but we did learn yesterday, we were doing a drone shoot for a horse property that we're putting on the market soon. And so we got our horses down there. We were doing the shoot, and the drone, I was out riding in the arena area, and the drone kind of came through. I waved, settled right at my horse's face, and he didn't move. And I asked him, I was just kind of like, it was great because they are rodeo horses. So yay, we're at least getting them trained correctly. However, he told me, our drone expert, he told us that usually horses don't mind drones, but it's cattle and burros or donkeys. So those are the two that really freak out around drones, where horses don't usually care, which is really interesting. That's just another strange fact, but coming soon, horse property. It's going to be fun.
All right. Moving to Massachusetts, I want to know what's in the water. So Massachusetts middle school's graduation ceremony featured the largest number of these within the class. You can look over and see, so you're going to guess what it is. But the largest number of twins in the graduating class. So there were 454 graduating students. It's a big number of graduating students. Okay, you can go to the bathroom.
You know this is live. It's going out to the world. You just said that to the audience. It's going. It's now there for years to come.
Oh my goodness. So out of the 454 graduating students, 23 pairs of twins were included in there. So in total, 47.
That deserves
47 twins. Now, if you're wondering how are there 47 twins, if they're twins, it should be an even number. Well, there's 46 twins, and then there's another twin where his twin actually goes to a different middle school. Not sure why. So technically 47 kids graduated that are part of a twin set.
wow.
The weird and kind of interesting part of this is they talked to a number of them. First of all, the school is used to having twins. They usually graduate anywhere between 5 and 10 sets of twins, which, are you kidding me? I don't think we have any twins in our kids' school right now.
Yes, we do.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah, we have two.
Oh, all right.
2 sets.
There we go. So we have 2 sets. I don't even know what's going on. But
Still, it's 2 sets. It's not 47.
yeah, but some of them, they're like, I didn't even know we were twins. Like, they didn't realize, like, of the twins, they didn't realize there's that many twins in the school, and a lot of them didn't know that one of the kids that was a twin was actually a twin. They had no idea.
What is happening?
To be fair, they're talking to middle school graduating students.
Still,
No,
in our
middle school.
elementary school, we know who the twins are.
Yeah, but these are middle school kids. I think there's
How do
something.
you not know
I
you're
think
a
there's
twin?
something where you're growing up, you're gaining brain cells. Middle school, you lose a couple, and then you get them back, and then some in high school.
But they're your twins.
It's like
you
you're
live
growing.
with them.
Oh,
I really cannot process that. Like, how do you not know? Do they live in different households? Is this like Parent Trap style?
oh no! Like the twins know they're a twin, but some of the twins didn't know that the other
Oh.
twin sets were part of a twin.
Okay, that's still weird.
It is. It's still. Weird.
But at least the twins knew
You
they were
would think
twins.
they'd have their own club anyway.
Right.
Like, we're the twin club.
We're the twin club.
All the twins get together after school. Ah.
Keep going.
You think at that school they must do a Parent Trap like play every year? Like their spring play every year is the Parent
Every
Trap
year.
since they have so many sets of twins.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okie dokie then.
Moving on.
And I'm not.
We're going to stick on the school theme. Another class in Oregon broke another record.
Ooh.
By
Their record or like national record?
national record.
Okay, was the twins one a national record?
It was a national record.
Okay,
yeah.
and a school record.
A school
Got
record
it. So
and
this
a
is
national
school
record.
and national
Yeah.
record.
And this was like it's kind of record, but it's not weird.
Okay, shut it
Bounce a
gently.
ping pong ball off the wall and stick it to your head record.
Okay.
Which that guy showed up like 5 times in the feed this morning trying to find odd news. Anyway, coming back, this school in Oregon set a Oregon. What the heck is wrong with me? Set a record. It just held its 80th.
Almost spit that all over the computer to the phone.
Be just as good as when he knocked it off the table.
I did not get off the table. You did.
So the Salem High School class in Oregon just broke the record for holding their 80th class reunion.
Wow.
High school reunion. So the Salem High School class of 1944 gathered over the weekend at, you'll be surprised, Denny's of all places. Denny's, there's only old people in Denny's, right? Like, Denny's and Cracker Barrel. It's the old people restaurant.
Careful, honey. You're kind of
Just
stereotyping.
saying.
I've been to a Denny's.
I've been to Denny's, but not on a frequent basis. I mean, I guess college, because it was always cheap and they always had deals going on. Yeah. I bet they have great senior citizen discounts. In fact, I know they do. I paid attention. Anyway, so the class member in attendance, there were 6 class members in attendance. The kind of sad part is they opened with the group memorializing 5 classmates who had just died the year before. So last year there were 11 of them got together. This year there's only 6. And then they read, once they do that, they read a poem written by one of the classmates that's still living, which has become an annual tradition at the reunions.
That's kind of cool.
It's really cool. And this, they've been meeting at this same Denny's for most of the time that they.
There you go. So they were young and then grew into it. Just
Youngish,
saying.
I'm sure.
So that's a shout out to my classmates at our next reunion. If we started at the Rio,
Just keep going.
just keep going at the
That
Rio.
would be hilarious. You guys at the Rio in your 80s.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I drink margaritas.
Yeah.
Now, and this is where, again, the Guinness Book of World Records is dumb. This class was the longest running reunion of all time. And then last year, Guinness Book of World Records gave it to a different class. However, this was the kindergarten graduating class. That graduated kindergarten in 1938 are still meeting in California at their 83rd. But I think we
High
give it to the
school.
high school. That's
I give
the one
it
that
high
matters.
school, not kindergarten.
No.
Because that actually takes away years.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It takes away a lot of years.
It's a lot more high school than
Now I'm one of
kindergarten.
those weird people where I graduated with a good chunk of in my high school class from kids I went to kindergarten with, but still, you got to count the high school. You can't count the kindergarten.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all.
that's
all
10
what I have to
years
say.
difference.
Yep.
Unless you were then that's, when 9th was included, but
Moving on
Okay,
from
moving on.
school and this one has nothing to do with any kind of a record. In Pittsburgh, Maine, which I didn't know there was a Pittsburgh, Maine. Like, are you kidding me? A couple was enjoying a walk on a popular beach when all of a sudden something out of Hollywood hit her and it wasn't quite what she expected. Jamie Accord, walking at the water's edge of Popham Beach State Park, sunk up to her hips in quicksand in Maine. Yeah. Quicksand does exist outside of the jungle, outside of Hollywood. She got sucked into her waist, and she said, "I couldn't feel the bottom. I couldn't find my footing." Within seconds, her husband had pulled her from the sand trap, and the sand filled in and stunned the couple and wondered what happens. It turns
sorry,
out...
can you start that again? The girls were making noise and I had to go shh.
Well, they heard it, though.
Oh, okay.
He did it.
Continue.
So she fell into quicksand. He pulled her out.
Oh, okay.
And they're trying to figure out what happened. So this is... It's quicksand is not like we see in the movies for the most part, where you fall in and you slowly get sucked down. It's actually super saturated sand, and she remained buoyant. Like, you don't just sink down, you kind of float. And so most people, to what this article is saying, no one's actually died from sinking into quicksand. You kind of float and you wiggle yourself free.
That just
and get
ruins
up.
the Princess Bride for me.
Really, that and not the giant rat things?
No, it doesn't ruin it because it's still a good story, and it's still fun, and it's a classic. But you sink and he has to cut the bread and dive in
Or the ridiculous eels?
and dive in to pull her out.
Yeah.
Save her. Mm-hmm. Such a romantic gesture.
It is a romantic gesture.
Just like this guy pulled her out.
The six-fingered man doesn't do it either. You know, it's just the quicksand scene.
Well, you were talking about quicksand.
I know.
You didn't pull one up about the six-finger man or a big giant rat or... Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya.
You killed my father.
Prepare to die. You're talking about quicksand.
Yep. Anyway, Jamie Accord is obviously home, safe, and fine, and they
Think
have a
she'll
great
go back
time
to the
and a good
beach
story
again?
to tell. And speaking of movies, R.I.P. Donald Sutherland passed away yesterday,
Aw,
83.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Anyway, do you think she'll go back? I would if I were her. I would try to find it again, to be honest.
yeah.
I'd be like, let's try it again. Yeah.
Since I'm not going to die,
Yeah.
I remain buoyant.
Maybe. Anyway. There we go.
This
That's
has
all
gone
we have
off the
for the
rails.
news.
Okay.
When doesn't it go off the rails?
That's true. Ladies, do you want to come say hi? Now they're quiet and staring
No.
at their iPads.
They don't care.
Caw-caw. Nope, still no response.
That's all we have for this For Fun Friday Facts, better known as...
There they are. Let's try that again.
We will see you not Sunday, not Tuesday, but
Monday.
Monday for Monday Morning Mindset, better known as...
I was ready
You
for
were
that
right,
one.
that was good. Mark and Brandy Aspinall, Berkshire Hathaway, Home Services, Colorado Real Estate, the Living Colorado Elite Team. Have a fun and safe weekend.
Mwah.